G'day everyone, Yellow Loong is a very tough boss in Chapter 4. Now I've seen all the discussion online and I know a lot of you are really struggling with him, so today I've got an example that you can copy that is easy to replicate and reliable and repeatable for you to kill this boss with a very low skill requirement and no dodging. If you like my videos for the combo breakdown, I'll do a little bit of that after as well, but I want to give people an easy way to just kill this boss if that's what they're after. Now the boss will start once you cross these little rocks here. So from behind there, start by taking some crit and damage pellets, whichever the strongest you have. Start charging up for a 3-point heavy attack and release it as you step over those little rocks. If you do that, your first attack will both reach him and interrupt the first charge before it gets off. Now this entire strategy revolves around abusing this weird behavior that he does, where he just kind of circles you from side to side without actually attacking you until you attack or approach him. Now this is not particularly elegant or clean, nor is it skillful, but all you're going to do is stand in your ring of fire, charge up a 3-point heavy attack, smash him with that, and then roll backwards and do it again. Now it's important to keep touching your ring of fire. This is giving you massive focus increased generation, as well as a little bit of healing in case you trade some of these hits with him, and it also reduces the damage you take. Because we've maxed out the tree, you also got those benefits persisting for a short while after leaving it. Now as you can see here, he's nearly at half health and I have done absolutely nothing special so far. Now once your ring of fire ends, you'll have a short period before you can actually use the next one. In this period, I use Cloud Step and basically just wait him out. I don't have any armor that particularly synergizes with heavy attacks, so I'm using the Ebon Silk set so that I can just get a little bit of free cheeky damage like this, standing behind him in Cloud Step. You can see those ticks for 30 damage-ish. Now you also want to take the whole Cloud Step tree just to increase the duration mostly, but also you get a little bit more damage coming out of that Cloud Step attack. As you see, all I did was kick him once back up, and then I'm going to go back into that same cycle of Ring of Fire. You'll only need another 2 or 3 here before we're in 30%-ish range, and that'll be our kill range. Now if you've forgotten that relics even existed, go and respec your 3rd relic into In One Breath. This allows you to charge to 4 focus points when standing in Ring of Fire, like you see here. Look at that disgusting crit, that's what you want. We'll look at my build in a second. It is worth noting that you don't always want to do 4 focus points. 3 actually for most of the fight is a better tempo and pace that you can get them out without him returning abilities. Alright, now we're in what I would consider kill range here, around 30 to 40% of boss health. Now he does get a little less patient with you and he will get attacks off here and there, just dodge backwards or use Cloud Step to avoid those, and at this point we are basically waiting for an opportunity to use a Pluck of Many. Now mana will be a problem because you're using 2 Ring of Fires, a Pluck of Many and a few Cloud Steps. So you want to be using the Jade Essence drink and the Turtle Tear Soak. If you didn't notice, a moment ago I downed about 4 or 5 drinks from my wine gourd to refill the mana. So once you've done rolling backwards about 12 times in a row and you have a gap, use a Pluck of Many. You want to max out this spell tree as well because it can seriously carry when you've got all the points in it. Let your illusions do your thing and you're going to use your transformation here as an extra health bar that you can be a little reckless with and to just spam some damage. I'm just spamming heavy attacks here. I'm not doing anything particularly special. If you can even bully him into a corner like this, that's actually quite effective. We're not here to be proud, we're here to kill a boss. Use the active ability once you have it available and eke that extra little bit of damage out. And then once that finishes, you're going to back up a little bit and finally we're going to use our Spirit. Red-haired Yaksha. It just does a bit of range damage. The main reason we're using it is actually for the considerably increases heavy attack damage, which we've been using the whole fight, obviously. Now, I did also use that needle vessel that you get from Duskvale. If you don't have it, it's fine, but it did just finish the boss there. So as you saw there, I didn't need to do any crazy dodging at all. All right, just quickly, I've already showed you the spells. For the rest of your spark points, you want to fill out the smash dance like this. This is the most important. This gives you a bunch of heavy attack damage and heavy attack charge speed. In Foundation, the most important things first are the damage, the crit damage, and the crit chance over on the right in Survival Tree, and then whatever points left you have, just get a few in the Stamina Tree. I've taken nothing in the Light Attack Tree because we didn't do any. I'm using the Jade Moon Rabbit and the Gold Sun Crow for 3% damage, and the Cat's Eye Beads for 3% crit. So if you're just looking to kill the boss, this will get you through. It'll probably take you a few attempts, but once you get a little bit of RNG and get a bit more of a feel for that side-strafing that he does, you'll get this down in no time. So from here onwards, I'm just going to break down some of the boss's combos and abilities for those of you that find that helps, or if you just want to increase your understanding of the fight. Now I'm going to start with this ability where he does 5 lightning charged dashes at you in a row. The 5th and final strike is always this one here where he leaps up into the air high, and as soon as you see the lightning effect go through his sword, you need to dodge once. Now if you find you keep getting hit by those middle 3 dashes, you may not have realized that there's actually 3 different speeds that he will dash at you based on the animation that he starts with. You cannot use the same dodge timing for all 3. Now on screen here, I've got 1 of each type, and I've paused them all exactly 1 frame before they start moving, so you'll be able to watch them in real time and see the different activation speeds. But let's see the difference between them first. I'll just move it forward a few frames. Alright, now these are what you want to be able to recognize. Starting on the left there, that's the fastest. He will simply bring the weapon straight up on his right hand side like that. Pretty much the moment you register him bringing it up on the right, you need to dodge once into him. For the medium speed in the middle, he's going to bring his weapon from his right hand side across the body and kind of tuck in under his left arm. And finally, the slowest over on the right there. You'll actually have to watch the rest of this one when I hit play in a moment, because as I said, it's the slowest, so he's not even in the full position yet. But basically for this one, he'll bring it across his body and then basically over the top of his head with a little bit of a twirl. That is the slowest by far. All right, let's watch them compared in slow-mo now. And remember, these were all paused at the exact same activation frame. So this is, whilst slow, a real comparison of the speed difference. And here they are again, just with the whole animation not paused. So take note of the difference and the stances that you need to memorize. But if you're struggling with this, I definitely recommend replay this a few times and just watch each one at a time and focus on them individually to really take it in. Now, as the boss gets low in health, he's going to empower this ability and it's going to get a little longer. It'll start the same and then still use 3 of those moves we just looked at, but then instead of a single finishing slam that we saw right at the start, there's going to be 3 of those very similar. Again, as soon as you see the lightning effect go through his blade, that's when you do a single dodge. So keep that in mind as you get him lower. Alright, now he has 5 of what I call his basic abilities at the start of the fight. Now the good news is that these can all be dodged with 3 dodges, and they're actually a pretty similar tempo as well. So let's look at them all. When he starts with the blade circling around the top of his head like this is 3 fairly slow dodges with a slight delay between each roll, evenly spaced. That'll be your slowest tempo roll out of the 5 combos. When he starts with the blade low and to his back right like this, it's going to be a double slash followed by a small delay and then an uppercut. Now you don't actually need that second dodge, it's not doing anything, but I just use it because it gets my timing for the 3rd dodge correct. I do 3 back to back. Now when he starts by doing a cool little twirl and flick of his blade, letting it go for a moment, he's about to go into a thrust, followed by a double slash, and then a 360 slash after that. Again, I'm using 3 dodges for all of these. When he starts by raising his blade, but also lifting up his knee and foot, it's going to be an initial downward slash, followed by a somersault slash, and then an uppercut. And finally, our 5th basic combo is one of these charged dashes. For this, he'll kind of lean backwards and there'll be a bunch of lightning. There's 2 variations. Sometimes he'll finish with a big sweeping slash. Sometimes he'll do one of those somersault slashes. Now, all 5 of these basic combos also evolve throughout the fight. Here we have the one that starts with the double slash uppercut. Again, those first 3 dodges will stay the same, but then it adds an extra little 360 slash followed by a double somersault slam. For the thrust combo, after he does his little 360 slash, he'll lean back into a bit of an invis state and then come down with 2 ground pounds, one after the other. You can just dodge back a few times when you see that coming. After the 2 somersault slashes into the uppercut, he'll leap up into the air for a moment and then do a single aerial strike. Again, your cue to dodge is that lightning effect through the blade. For the charge that finishes with a single slash, he'll then do a torpedo back through you up into the air. After a moment, he'll do a strike back down into the ground. And then after even another delay, he'll do a double somersault slam thing. The charge that finishes with a double somersault slash just gets an extra double somersault slash after it as well. Now there is one totally new ability that he'll get at some point throughout the fight. When he turns clockwise into like a reverse hilt smash with the stick of his weapon, he's going to follow this with a downward slash and then a horizontal slash that leaves this ripple behind it that'll explode. He'll then do a few more slashes and another ripple slash. When this comes out, it doesn't track you too well, so just dodge backwards and keep your distance. Now the last thing I want to talk about is that if you keep getting hit by this weird grab attack cutscene combo, it might be because you're using Rock Solid. I realized at some point in testing that I nearly always got hit with that after using Rock Solid, so I removed it and I never got hit by it again. So if that's annoying you, you can dodge it, but it's probably not worth the risk, right? So if you are getting hit by it, maybe just take Cloud Step instead. It's really useful to dodge some of those really big nasty combos. So that's it. I hope you got something out of this video, whether it be from the specific strategy at the start or just having a look at the general combos and maybe taking away a few points. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe. It helps me out a bunch. Thanks for listening, everyone. Cheers.